All right, Sharif, I suppose let's go back a little bit. Obviously, jumped a few different areas that hopefully people find interesting. Obviously, you were the original sort of designer and curator of the SRMC, which obviously this is the common theme that runs through the podcast. Obviously, me and Duncan, we obviously live and breathe it, and what it means to us. But what was your sort of original concept of what did you see? What did you think we were doing there? What was your idea of where you could take that? I know you had a bold vision for it, but maybe none of us believed it really. But none of us believed we were going to get to 2,000 people, I suppose.
No, and to be honest with you, Pete, I didn't think in my wildest dreams that it would go to where you guys have taken it. So massive kudos to that. For me, and I think this comes down to there's a price and value component to anything that you do in this world. And for me, I spent a fair chunk of money doing a course similar that I just didn't think ticked the boxes that it's needed for somebody with ambition to really try and move into that next phase of management consultancy. So the big vision for me with the SRMC was teach people current content that's absolutely relevant to the world of corporate security and risk management, which and it definitely veers off into other streams there. Number one. And number two, nothing is more valuable than your network. There's what you know in this world, and there's who you know, and you have to have a blend of both. Nobody is immune from. Talent alone is not just going to get you somewhere. You have to be known for the talents that you have, and people evangelizing that either on your behalf. That for me is where the network and the alumni really comes into play. So for me, I would be fascinated to see how many people who've completed the SRMC joined the alumni and then linked other people up for contracts or jobs. That would be a real valuable.
Our whole business is based on that. I mean, that's
and so for me, that's the vision, because there's so many good people out there who just haven't had that opportunity because they've just wrong place, wrong time. Yeah. They may have the skills, they may have the drive, they may have the qualification now. From the SRMC.
Well, qualification is just one part of it.
Well, it's just one part. Yeah.
Yeah, luck, perseverance, networking, trying to create a community or a tribe of people that have got a bond through that shared hardship and experience, and people knowing what quality that person is. That the course only attracts sort of.
Well, and it's the quality. Yeah. So you've given the industry a benchmark of quality person that others can tap into, and that for me was where it really was at. Is it's not just about the old boys network. Those days are gone. You've got to. It's got to be a little bit more. Well, it's got to be a lot more substantial than that. And
I think that was a different angle we probably all came from. We were obviously getting old and bold now, but we were pretty young when we all sort of got this going, and we were quite different. Even now, we probably still classed as pretty young in the industry, and we've been doing this for 12, 13 years. But as much as we'll happily say how great we are and talk about it, it's not. It's about the reason why the tribe has started and become this alumni group of people and communities. It all looks after each other. Yeah, everyone looks after each other. Someone backfills a job, they'll get someone else from the alumni community, and it's just gone. And for us, I think that's the bit we're probably most proud of. Actually, is the course has led to that. But it's that network of people that are out there, and hence why we're getting them all back. You being the first to talk on this podcast about and see where their journeys have taken them from. It might have just been a conversation on the phone with Pete, and he gave them the best sales pattern in the world, but they just have to look out on all social media channels and see other people talking about it and where it's led them to. So that'd be a nice lead on to our next part.
And I think just obviously remembering in building the course itself, we had a lot of frameworks to go after. There's a heck of a lot to help us get to where we were, and it's the one thing I probably overlooked the most is if you think about it, you had 9/11, then you had wars post that, then you had a booming security industry arise from that. This is before you even think about what I would call just corporate security now. You had a booming security industry, you had oil and gas security industry, you had a maritime security industry. So there's a heck of a lot going for us in terms of being able to build that. You had pamphlets, ISO frameworks, a lot of that stuff was already there. It was just trying to pull it all together and now find the right people to be able to present that specific part of the course with practical experience. And I think for me, you know, moving on from where the SRMC, you know, I built the first course, I delivered the first 3. And then, you know, Pete and I had to have an uncomfortable conversation because I just said, look, I said, Pete, you know, cards on the table, I got a deep level of imposter syndrome here because I haven't practically done some of the things that we're trying to teach these guys, you know. So it felt very theoretical and academic for me. And whilst I could tell the story and get the point across, you know, I just felt that it you know, it needed to probably go in a different direction. Extremely proud of
ironic, me just to jump in there, mate. You're not, obviously not just saying this to be nice, and obviously you're the first podcast guest, but you're actually probably generally one of the best speakers or communicators of teaching. When I described you on the SRMC to people, how, you know, obviously you're in the cyber world now, which I presume we'll get onto. You know, you could articulate any threat, risk, or vulnerability just as well. I believe, but what's good to know, I suppose the audience to know, is even somebody like you now, who's a cyber rock star. You know, we had to phone like 4 of our secretaries just to book you in today. But you know, for someone like, you know, waiting, and you are smashing it in your world, especially the role you're in now. It was like that. Even you felt. I know everyone feels imposter syndrome in a different way, but I just thought it was a point worth mentioning to the audience.
I mean, Pete never one to spare me the blushes, so thank you. You know, but
you are our richest friend now, mate.
No, but well, I wish. But no, I think, you know, you've also got to bear in mind that we didn't do this on our own. You know, we did these things together. You know, you, Pete, got me into my cyber job. You also got me into building you an SRMC, if you will. But you guys have taken that to a completely different level, way beyond anything I thought it was really going to go to. And I think that's testament to the belief that you had in growing it and taking it to where it is.